And we are on.
Okay. If you don't do it right, I got to do it all over again. Well, hopefully they came out. Okay, I have constantly talked about how funny and how much I enjoy it when I hear people using vulgar language. When I hear comedians say the word fuck, I find that to be funny. When I hear music with explicit lyrics, especially when the lyrics refer to women as bitches and hoes, now that's funny. Whenever I watch a movie, and when every other word in the dialogue is fuck, that is funny. But a lot of parents don't find things like that to be funny because they are so worried about what their precious child's fragile eggshell mind would be getting, and about it getting corrupted by hearing all that smut and filth. So parents need to protect their children from all those perverts, which will cause them to suffer so much emotional damage, and besides, that's their job. This made me look back and realize that there are many times that it ain't funny when people swear, like when parents swear at their kids. And I remember when I was only 5 years old when my brother and his friend locked me out of the room, and I said, "Will you assholes open up the door?" And my mother heard that, and she told me that I can't use that word. And then I told her that she says that word all the time. And she told
Where
me
do you think you learned it from?
And she told me that it's okay for her to say it because she's a grown-up and I was only a child and for the first time in my life I got to be exposed to this double standard hypocrisy bullshit. Another thing that I'm sick and tired of is parents who tell their kids, "Do as I say and not what I do" bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
I have heard so many parents say, "If my kids start smoking or drinking, I will kill them." And then they often do it while they're drinking a martini, while they're puffing away on a cigarette. It's time to get a law passed that will make it illegal for any parent to smoke or drink until their youngest child turns 21, and if they don't like it, then they shouldn't have had any kids. Furthermore, any parent who gets caught smoking or drinking should be taken out and shot. The next question that comes to mind is some people don't think parents should be allowed to possess pornography. Well, that is a bit too harsh. There are a lot of husbands who can no longer stand the thought of fucking their wife any longer as soon as she gives birth to her baby, so you can't blame the poor guy for needing his porn to jerk off to. And he has to be able to have some fun after he realizes that he's been duped and discovers that breeding is a lifestyle of shit after he's been duped into thinking it was going to be so wonderful. Now, I have seen on multiple occasions some piece of shit fucking cunt who popped 4 demons out her twat. And they were all less than 5 years old, which means that as soon as she popped one baby, she had to spread her legs and let another man shoot sperm up her cunt. So she pops another baby, and 9 months later, and she keeps popping the babies like they're going out of style. And I have seen pieces of shit like that yelling and screaming at her kids, and I have heard people like that tell their 4-year-olds to shut the fuck up on multiple occasions. That's not funny. If they treat their kids like that in public, God only knows what they must do in private. People like that should have their kids taken away from them, and they should be sterilized so they won't be able to pop any more babies. It's time to crack down on allowing functional pieces of filth like that from breeding and having kids. And there was a time I was at a gas station, and this was while I was living in Florida, when I saw this very high-strung, loose-cannon, redneck piece of fucking filth, whose IQ was probably in the single digits, and he was either threatening to or he may have actually been beating the shit out of his girlfriend and wife, and they had at least 3 kids, and I'm not into this sympathetic PC fucking bullshit about seeing battered women as sweet, innocent and victims either. No one forces women like that to be with demons and pieces of trash and demons from hell like that.
Right on!
She decided to be with that low-life, dirtbag fucking piece of fucking filth because she chose to be with that fucking piece of fucking filth. But women like that will often say, "But I need a man." I would rather stick a plastic penis up my ass than be with a human piece of fucking garbage like that. If that's not all, that fucking cunt needs to take a lot of responsibility for how her kids are going to be ruined because she likes to hang out with scum. And do you know that 7 children are murdered by their parents every day? As that guy was driving off, he was saying, "I hope I fucking get drunk tonight." That wasn't funny. It's times like that when I wish that I could be a bartender so I could have an opportunity. Well, let's say another bartender does it. I would like to see a bartender give him a drink with cyanide in it. Because I would never do a thing like that myself. The world would be a better place with one less low-life piece of fucking filth in it like that. And this goes to show that people like that are fine examples of how being a parent makes you a better person. Not. If it ain't bad enough hearing parents swearing at their kids, I also can't stand it when I hear authority figures say the word fuck, like police officers. And I won't forget the time when I saw a guy getting arrested and the guy said, "I didn't do anything," and the police officer told him to shut the fuck up. That wasn't funny. Under no circumstances shall a police officer be allowed to say the word fuck. Of course it's funny when artists such as comedians, spoken word artists, and musicians say the word fuck, but a police officer is a role model and he should be required to behave with a high moral code of conduct. And it's about time that a zero tolerance policy gets implemented against any police officer who says the word fuck. If a police officer gets caught using the word fuck, he should be fired, and the public needs to be on guard and get out their cameras and film police officers using the word fuck and put it on YouTube and report them. Furthermore, any police officer who uses the word fuck should have his or her mouth washed out with soap. And there should be a cable channel showing police officers getting their mouths washed off with soap for saying the word fuck. And it should be called the Bad Cop No Donut channel. Furthermore, any police officer who gets caught saying the word fuck should be prohibited from being allowed to eat any donuts for at least for a minimum of a year. And someone needs to follow him around with a camera to make sure that he doesn't eat any donuts. And his house should be equipped with surveillance cameras to make sure that he doesn't eat any donuts, including his bathroom. I know there are plenty of police officers who will try to eat donuts while they are sitting on the toilet taking a shit. And speaking of battered and abused women, I was once listening to a radio show about domestic violence, and I heard this one woman talking about how her husband would brutally beat the shit out of her, but nobody believed her. Why? Because her husband was a police officer, and he was a man of the law, and he would never do a thing like that. It never ceases to amaze me how people in this country are so fucking stupid with their heads so deep up their asshole. People are that fucking stupid that they are completely unaware about how many police officers are such savages, beasts, and scum. Now, my grandfather was a police officer, and he was an authoritarian fucking prick who would brutally beat the shit out of his kids, and he even waved his fist at me because I had the radio on too loud because he was so concerned about that it would wake up my parents. So he shook his fist at me, and he told me that I need a couple of these. By the way, guess what woke my parents up? The radio or him yelling and screaming at me?
Him yelling and screaming?
Yes.
I thought
like
so.
Like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Well, this world would be a much better place if people would listen to my teachings and philosophies. I guess there are times when it's funny when an authority figure swears like Rick Santorum. He ended up saying bullshit, and that was funny considering that he is a self-righteous fucking douchebag who talks about how moral he is with his strong faith in God. And where are you at? What time?
9:32.
Yeah, I read this at the artist group, where most of the people are fucking snowflakes.
Oh, yeah. And they're very PC, right?
Yeah, and they agreed with the part, and that one blind, I will never be able to show this video to the artist group. This one one blind woman who can't stand it when I talk about beating off or anything sexual involving me. I don't know why she's got such a stick up her ass over that. But if she's blind, I wonder if she can't stand it when I talk about beating off because she masturbated so many times she went blind, and it gives her back those horrible memories.
That could be it.
And she agreed. I also brought up Donald Trump using naughty words.
I really think it's funny when anyone uses naughty words.
Not police officers.
Oh, I do, unless it's to me or someone I like.
But I did bring up Donald Trump, and I now forgot if I said that. I think I did say. Now I kind of remember the bullshit feedback I got. Well, Donald Trump is a role model, and children can hear those swear words.
I have news for you. Children hear worse things outside the home.
I'm sick and fucking tired of this role model bullshit.
Yeah.
Aren't you sick of it? I'm very sick of it.
Oh, you were saying about low-life scum that beat their kids and curse them in public. You know what I hate even more? When parents are real lovey-dovey to their kids. I fucking hate that. Oh, I hate that with a passion. My parents never treated me like that.
Well, I think if you want, I don't know, I disagree with you on that one because there's two reasons here. You don't know what they do behind the scenes. They may treat them nice in public, and they may treat them like total shit in private. That's one possibility.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
But if you want them to grow up to be decent people, you have to treat them well.
Oh, yeah? I knew kids in my neighborhood whose parents were real lovey-dovey to them, and these kids were spoiled bullies who expected everyone to kiss their fucking asses.
I'm not saying they should be allowed to get away with doing shit like that.
Oh, they were.
I believe there should be balance.
There should be boundaries.
That kind of shit, yes.
Yeah. But they had no boundaries whatsoever.
But if they treat them like shit, look how they turn out. How many serial killers end up. Most serial killers end up that way because their parents treated them like shit.
Well, maybe they're doing the world a favor. There's too many assholes in the world anyway. Yeah. Oh, I have 3 minutes left. Well, no, 2 minutes left. I'll call him back in a couple of minutes. Anyway, yeah, your grandfather sounds like a real piece of work. I betcha his yelling was a lot louder than the radio.
But as I said, they're like my sister-in-law. There's people who act nice at the beginning, and then show their true colors. I mean, I just realized that in the last couple of months that I prefer my grandparents who show their true colors of what fucking assholes they are, as opposed to someone who. I
agree. At least you know where you stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think my mother is too fucking stupid to be aware of that.
Oh, that's sad.
That she'll be quick at condemning her own parents for being such brutal asshole fucking scum. But if someone acts nice at the beginning and then they still continue to treat my mother nice, but they say shit about me, then she's on their side.
Oh, of course. Did your mother have any brothers or sisters?
Yes, she had 2 sisters.
How did her parents treat her sisters?
Better.
Why?
Because they were fucking assholes.
That's not a reason. It's well, what was it about her sisters that made them treat them better?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know.
And what's the time?
13:39. So.
Yeah, and like I say, we went on a vacation with my Aunt Char, who turned out to be a fucking cunt because my mother, at least at the time, tried to tell her about Asperger's, and she said, she doesn't get it.
Oh, is your Aunt Char your mother's sister?
Yeah, and she said I always acted like a brat. Oh, well, this might want to put this in here before the time runs out.
Quick.
She's her cunt droppings. 2 of them got arrested for drunk driving.
I remember you told me about that.
One,
but that's okay.
Smashed his car into a telephone pole and fucked up his back.
Yeah, well, that's okay though.
And they got busted for smoking dope on the beach. I don't care if they smoked dope, but they got busted for it.
Yeah.
So they weren't sweet little fucking angels. So why she was giving me shit about what I do?
Because she has a double standard. That's why.
We went there at the time.
Okay. All right. We're just about done. And